Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we are bringing some serious energy and focus to a topic that honestly affects almost every single one of us, our daily baselines. Look, if you're feeling constantly stressed, inexplainably fatigued, or just totally drained by the nonstop demands of modern life, trust me, you are not alone. Our goal today is to build what we're calling a natural wellness toolkit. We're going to look at some incredible, evidence-based, natural ways to just hit the reset button on your body and your mind so you can actually take back control of your day.
Okay, let's dive into this, because these are incredibly common modern ailments. I mean, you drink a double espresso and feel absolutely nothing, right? Or maybe you find yourself practically massaging your temples by 2 p.m. every single day. We gotta just treat these things as the cost of doing business in the modern world. But what if they're actually signals? Literal signals from your body just begging for a reset.
To fix this, we're dividing our toolkit into 3 core pillars: energy, relief, and balance. First on the agenda, we're resetting your caffeine tolerance and exploring some energizing coffee alternatives. Then, we'll dive into natural stress and pain relief techniques you can use pretty much anywhere. And finally, we'll build a foundation of bodily balance by exploring the magic of magnesium. Section 1, Resetting Caffeine Tolerance, Breaking the Cycle of Diminished Returns. Let's tackle that first pillar of energy. Basically, when you consume caffeine daily, your brain actually adapts by creating more receptors for adenosine. That's the chemical that makes you feel drowsy. So eventually, you just need more and more caffeine to hit a normal baseline of alertness. But here's the catch. If you decide to just quit cold turkey, you really need to brace yourself for this number: 20 to 51. According to the research, the most intense caffeine withdrawal symptoms, we're talking about those brutal headaches, the heavy brain fog, the irritability, and that absolute exhaustion, they actually peak between 20 to 51 hours after your last cup. Honestly, that is a rough 2 days. So to avoid that completely miserable crash, you can use what's called the taper method. It starts simply by tracking your daily intake in actual milligrams. Keep in mind, a standard cup is around 95 milligrams. From there, you just cut back your total intake by 25% each week. And the real secret weapon here? Substitute in decaf or low-dose options packed with nootropics like L-theanine to smooth out those jitters and keep your focus super sharp while your brain chemistry literally resets itself. Section 2, Energizing Coffee Alternatives, Natural Fuel Without the Crash. As you lower your caffeine intake, you're probably going to miss the ritual of it, right? So let's look at how we can replace that missing caffeine with some really powerful natural plant-based options that give you their own unique, incredible bodily benefits. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. Think about traditional high-dose caffeine. It usually gives you this crazy jittery spike, an abrupt crash, and it can even trigger anxiety and elevate your heart rate. Now contrast that with matcha green tea. It actually still contains caffeine, but it's naturally paired with an amino acid called L-theanine. This combo creates a state of calm alertness. So you get sustained, focused energy, but you don't end up feeling all wired and anxious. It's a game changer. Now, if you want to just drop caffeine entirely, you have some amazing herbal options that you can tailor to your specific goals. If you're looking at gut health, chicory root is awesome because it mimics that rich, woody coffee flavor, but it feeds your good bacteria with prebiotic fiber. Or if you need liver support, roasted dandelion root has this great dark roast character packed with vitamins. We already touched on matcha for the antioxidants and L-theanine benefits. And if you're someone who really struggles with energy crashes, mesquite is a naturally sweet, nutrient-dense option that actually helps regulate your blood sugar levels for sustained energy. Moving to Section 3, Natural Stress and Pain Relief, Immediate Physical Reset Techniques. So we've stabilized the energy pillar. Now we pivot to relief. How do we actually handle daily tension and headaches without just immediately reaching for the medicine cabinet? Well, our first tool here is acupressure. This is an ancient Chinese medicine practice. It's based on the exact same principles as acupuncture, but without the needles. Instead, you apply gentle, firm pressure to specific points on your body to stimulate energy flow, or qi. Doing this actually activates your nervous system, lowers your cortisol, improves blood circulation, and gets your body to release endorphins, which are literally your body's built-in natural painkillers. And you can use these specific pressure points right at your desk. For instance, the Union Valley point sits in the muscle bulge right between your thumb and index finger. Squeezing this for 10 to 15 seconds is absolutely incredible for tension headaches. Just a quick aside, definitely avoid that one if you're pregnant. Then there's drilling bamboo, located right at the inner corners of your eyes where the bridge of your nose meets your eyebrows. Perfect if you're staring at screens all day and have eye strain. And the gates of consciousness, that sits right at the base of your skull between the neck muscles. Just hold it to literally melt away neck tightness. Another fantastic immediate tool for relief is peppermint essential oil. Because it naturally contains menthol, it gives you this cooling sensation that actually stimulates blood flow and soothes muscle contractions. For respiratory congestion, you can add a few drops to hot water and just inhale the steam for 10 minutes. For tension headaches, you'll want to dilute it with a carrier oil, something like coconut or almond oil, and then gently massage it right onto your temples and the back of your neck. All right, section 4, the magic of magnesium, the foundation of bodily balance. This is our final foundational pillar. To achieve real balance, we're looking at a mineral that is just absolutely critical. It supports over 300 different chemical reactions in your body. It helps make energy, supports muscle function, and is so crucial for easing stress and boosting relaxation. Because it is so vital, a deficiency in magnesium can completely throw your entire daily baseline out of whack. If you're experiencing frequent headaches, random unexplainable muscle cramps, nausea, maybe some numbness or tingling, an irregular heartbeat, or just a general heavy fatigue, well, you might actually be looking at a magnesium deficiency. Now, before we rush into talking about supplements, we absolutely need to ground our advice in clinical authority. As nutrition therapist Eva Turk points out, your first line of defense should always be food. Nutrient-rich whole foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, avocados, and legumes are the absolute best way to absorb magnesium. Why? Because they bring a whole host of other beneficial nutrients along with them. Section 5. Choosing the right magnesium. Navigating the supplement aisle. But hey, sometimes food isn't quite enough, and you find yourself staring at rows and rows of bottles in a store. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it demystifies that overwhelming process so you know exactly what to look for. Because honestly, there is no single best magnesium. It completely depends on what your body is asking for. If you struggle with digestion, magnesium citrate is super easy for your body to absorb. If you're battling sleep issues or anxiety, magnesium glycinate is highly recommended for its calming effects on the brain. Want to boost memory and mood? Look for L-threonate, which actually crosses the blood-brain barrier. Got sore muscles? Skip the pills altogether and soak in magnesium sulfate, better known as Epsom salts. And magnesium oxide, while pretty poorly absorbed for overall levels, is great for relieving occasional constipation. So if you are going the supplement route, the crucial number you really need to remember is 350. The recommended upper daily limit for magnesium supplements is 350 milligrams. Taking more than that in supplement form, that can definitely lead to some unwanted gastrointestinal issues, like diarrhea. It's also absolutely vital that we practice safe, natural wellness here. Magnesium supplements are just not for everyone. You need to consult a doctor first if you have a pre-existing heart condition, especially heart block or kidney disease, since that impairs your ability to filter excess minerals. The same goes for intestinal diseases like Crohn's or celiac, or specific nerve and muscle conditions. And just a heads up, magnesium can also interact with certain antibiotics and diuretics. To sum the whole shebang up, resetting your daily baseline does not require some massive, overwhelming life overhaul. You can dramatically optimize your energy and your well-being just with small, intentional tweaks. Try swapping out that 4th cup of coffee for a prebiotic chicory brew. Press the Union Valley point on your hand when you feel a headache looming, and just make sure your body has the foundational magnesium it needs to thrive. Which brings us to the end of our explainer. I want you to take a look at your own habits. What is one quick fix in your daily routine? Maybe it's a sugary energy drink, or maybe it's an over-the-counter painkiller that you can actually replace with one of these natural solutions starting tomorrow. Think about it. Build your toolkit and take control of your baseline. See you next time.